on today's show is the CSGO gambling scandal, one of esports' latest controversies and possibly one of the biggest. For over a month, we have exposés, apologies, silent treatments, more news, blogs, and even website shutdowns. And we are here to give you the condensed version of all the events. That's number one.
You also might be wondering why Pao isn't here right now. It's because we have an interview with Rahul Sood, the owner of Unikrn, one of the biggest CSGO betting sites.
A legal betting site.
Yeah, so that's coming up. And lastly,
We have number three, the future of CSGO. Now, with many of his viewership involved in betting, what's next for the game? Will it drop down? What's going to happen in terms of viewership, support, the esports scene in general? So, what are the repercussions of this dark chapter in esports?
what's the future looking like? We'll let that close out this episode of GG Gauntlet. Alright, so today we're talking about Counter-Strike Global Offensive, or CSGO.
Yep.
For those of you who don't know, this is a shooter game where you can get in-game items, guns, knives, there are different colors for your guns and knives.
Yeah.
And these items sell for hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars on a secondary market, right?
A lot of money.
And there are betting sites which allow you to put these items up on a roulette type betting thingy.
Mhm.
And the big thing about that is that it's not age restricted. None of these sites are age restricted.
Most of these sites are not age restricted. There are a few, but very, very few sites
Yeah.
who actually go to the process of making sure that you are legal. You're
for-
actually legal
yeah.
to
But
to
for the
bet.
most part, even a 5-year-old could sign up with their parents' credit card and bet hundreds of dollars on these digital guns.
Digiguns.
Yes. Yeah, we'll call them that. All right.
Alright, so
Let's walk them through it.
walking you guys through the entire history of, this part of CSGO history. July 20th at the Richard Lewis show. Richard Lewis, one of the most prolific esports journalists, had an interview with Mo, a popular streamer, Counter-Strike streamer, and former Source pro player.
Mm-hmm.
And he admitted that he is involved with CSGO Diamonds, one of these betting sites, that they have been helping him get in-game items for free, or defeating in-game items, or winning the brackets, and all of that, all the back-end stuff.
Super shady is
Yes.
what it is.
Yep. And then on June 23 was the first public lawsuit led by Michael John McLeod from Connecticut against Valve, the
Yeah.
developer of Counter-Strike Go, and again for illegal gambling, as what you said, like age restrictions, using these items as essentially poker chips.
Yeah.
Right? And then in July 1, there was another lawsuit in Florida. So you see, like the lawsuits have been
Yeah.
filing one the other.
And basically what that is people are accusing Valve, the makers of CSGO, of, facilitating or at least abetting these sites. If you're not stopping them, they're just allowing kids to
Yeah.
bet.
And the thing about Valve is they've always been known as this very big but silent corporation.
Yeah, they don't like to dip their fingers into their game. They just
Yeah.
let them run on the free market, basically.
They barely issue any statements, even just not just in CSGO, but in Dota 2 and any of their other games.
Yep,
Alright, so moving forward, July 2 was one of the big
here we go.
news drops. So H3H3 is a popular YouTube channel, and him with the help of Honor the Call, a
Yeah.
smaller YouTube channel who investigated two popular YouTubers, Syndicate and T Martin,
Yep,
about their involvement with another site, CSGO Lotto.
yeah.
And what Honor the Call discovered was
This is big.
this is big. These two YouTubers are not just directly involved with the websites, they own the websites.
Conspiracy right there.
So Honor the Call discovered that he have found the business documents, especially the real business documents, stating their names as the owners, as the ones who filed those documents. So I know, because when I saw their YouTube,
Yeah.
their show, their videos, it's like, hey guys, I discovered this cool website called CSGO Lotto.
I know millions of people watch their videos. They watch them every day to see them win by chance. Very expensive items, small buy-ins, but large payouts.
Mhm.
Little did everyone know, it's rigged the whole time.
They
And
knew.
not only was it rigged, all the money was going back to them anyway. So,
Yep, so
what
it
the
doesn't-
hell?
Doesn't even matter. So after a few days, they were forced to make apology videos saying, "I didn't know that you guys didn't know that we know that you know about
Yeah,
these
like,
sites.
we were the owners the whole time. We didn't hide anything from
yeah,
you.
it's not our fault. It's not our fault that you didn't know. But I'm really really sorry
Yeah.
for taking all your cash."
Not only that, they retroactively changed
Oh,
the
yeah.
disclaimers on their past betting videos saying that, oh, we were the owners. Even videos from a year ago, they were just
Mhm.
like, well, it's always been there.
It's always
You just
been
didn't
there.
notice.
People they just didn't realize that we have the technology to see the archive
So
versions.
you see, it's just very shady dealings going
Mhm,
on.
mhm. And then July 13, Valve finally spoke that
Yeah.
they are going after these sites, that they will not tolerate these gambling sites. And the next day, Twitch, the big esports and gaming stream site, has shut down these CSGO gambling streams.
You know it's big when Valve steps in.
And you know it's bigger when
It's not
Twitch
big.
steps in. Like,
Yeah, even bigger than that.
no more of these things. And I think it's because since they now know that these things are going downhill, they're saying,
Mhm.
nope.
Wash our hands of that.
Please go away. We will not do anything. And then another big one dropped 2 days after, July 16.
Just keep them coming.
Keeping them coming. With Richard Lewis once again. He has exposed James Vargas, aka Phantom Lord. He has been a prolific streamer for years, starting with League of Legends
Mhm.
and then Counter-Strike Go. And he's been known as for his gambling streams, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he has attained Skype chat logs. Like files upon files upon files of Skype chat logs of him talking to Jorik, a guy named Jorik, who is a web developer, about him like essentially dealing with CSGO Shuffle, his
Yeah.
sponsor.
Man, I don't know how Richard Lewis does it, but when
He
dirt
does it.
needs to be, collected, he does it. He
He's
does
the
it.
man. So within these chat logs, and by the way, his what makes him extra cool
Yeah.
is that he is willing to give away these chat logs as long as you are a responsible journalist.
A
You-
world-class responsible journalist. Shout out to Pao.
Yay! You will have these chat logs, and
Mhm.
they said like he asked for probabilities of these spins, for extra items to bet, what's happened to the site, yada yada yada.
Rigging in every conceivable way, basically.
the everything, and if you even like check with what's happening to him on the stream, like I'm going to stream, we need this, and he also been involved with adding bots to chat, just to improve on his rankings.
Yeah. Just,
A lot of
buffer that.
a lot of very very shady deals, and I just want to like pause a bit to say like it really sucks that this is what we're dealing with right now, because a lot of people really enjoy like Counter-Strike Go for its game, because it's a really great game.
It is. It's
It's-
the preeminent shooter in the world right now.
It is, and for them to become less of a game and more of here's me betting, here's me
Yeah,
betting.
it's kind of what happened to a game called Team Fortress 2, where it just became a hat economy because of
Yeah.
the items.
Like, it really sucks. I mean, I just really feel bad about it. Like, it sucks. And what sucks more is for the websites, because on July 19, Valve finally ordered a cease and desist for these websites. Sites
Yeah.
like CSGO Shuffle, CSGO Lotto, CSGO Double, and a lot of these sites have closed or said, "We'll be back, guys. We're going on a break." And then on July 20, they're started to threaten legal action against these websites. Like,
Would you say this is the first time that Valve has been this heavy-handed with their...
yeah, I think this issue is finally the straw that broke their back and said, "You know what?
We gotta step in. We have to step
We
in
have
now.
to do something right now, or else things are gonna get really bad."
Mm.
And in fact, as we are recording this chapter is not yet over,
Yep.
because now it's been exposed that Vulcan, one of the bigger esports organizations, has also been involved, and also one of the pro teams, FaZe, it's
Everyone
yeah.
dipping their toes.
There's proof that the owner face owns one of the betting sites. CS:GO Wild. A lot of things have been happening, and this is just the small condensed version
Yeah.
of what's happening currently, and it's still an ongoing chapter.
But if you want to know some insider info on
Mhm.
that, let's hear from Pao with Rahul Sood of Unikrn.
Rahul here is joining us to talk about this issue in a deeper manner. Rahul, why don't you introduce yourself to us?
Sure. My name is Rahul Sood, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Unikrn. We're a Seattle-based esports bookmaker. We are we've I've been in this business for a very long time in the gaming business. In the video game business. It's how I started in this space, and I actually started the first PC gaming company in the world that actually built PCs to play games on. Um, that was called Voodoo. So I've been in this space for a while. Started Unikrn in November of 2014, and we brought on some really great investors. We built a pretty cool company and a cool team that's sort of internationally based, and we exist to bring to bring legitimacy to esports betting. We think that esports is an area that is obviously going to grow, and this space needs a legitimate operator to bring not only legitimacy but to bring regulation and oversight into this space. Otherwise, you're going to end up with the Wild West, which is sort of what we're seeing with the CS:GO gambling stuff that's been going on.
Right.
A little of the general basics of what's happening right now. Basically, in the
Sure.
world of CS:GO betting, a bunch of these sites have popped up,
Yep.
anchored on the idea that you can bet on. First, it started out with matches.
Yep.
Using virtual currency in the form of the items that are available on Steam. These have a dollar value, clearly, where you can trade them on Steam for a dollar value. But then slowly, a lot of these other sites popped up where you can use those same items to bet on a roulette style game of chance.
Right.
What is the difference between that and Unicorn?
Well, okay. Well, first of all, the items that you're betting on, as you say, they have a real, there's a real world value associated with them, and what's happened is these sites have basically created how do you say it? It's like a very easy way for people to kind of go to a website, connect your Steam account. It's just like connecting your Facebook account, and then being able to wager your in-game skins on these online games. What they've basically done is they've made it easy for 13-year-olds to gamble. That's
Right.
the best way I can put it, right? I mean, the difference between us and them is, Unikrn is partnered with one of the largest, most reputable publicly traded betting operators in the world. They're called Tabcorp. They're a $12 billion company based out of Australia. Tabcorp is one of our larger investors in the company, and we have created a true sports book where people can look at the odds and place real money bets on actual esport events that are going on.
So let's clarify your position right now. You
Yep.
obviously think that betting can be a healthy part of the esports industry.
I think betting is a not only healthy, it's a vital part for any successful sports industry. I think anybody who's anybody in major sports will tell you that betting is important and it's vital, right? As long
Right.
as it's regulated, as long as it's safe, as long as it's legal, it's totally normal and it's totally good for the industry. I mean, you look at Adam Silver from the NBA. I mean, he's come out publicly and stated, that betting on sports should be legalized in the U.S. We believe that, right? And we think it's going to happen. So we think it's vital. But what we don't think is vital is allowing. We don't think having scam sites come
Right.
up out of nowhere and being allowed to operate without any regulation or oversight is good. We think people should be going to jail for what they've done.
Right.
And we can't forget about what they've done. Like, we have to make sure that people are aware that this has happened, and these people are just bad operators, right? And they should absolutely go to jail, and they should actually be tried for what they've done, right? And that's the bottom line. So I would say that if they can, if we can do that, if we can take that position, then I think it's possible for gambling to exist in this space and exist in this space in a way that makes financial sense
Right.
for everybody.
So, last few questions.
Sure.
Rahul, you've clearly been in the space for a long time, both in gaming and you understand the shape of the industry when it comes to sportsbook and sports betting. What is your position when it comes to certain regions in the world? For example, where we live right now, I'm in Southeast Asia, and you have a lot of people who do look at betting right now, especially with the way betting used to happen on Steam,
Yeah.
and look to it as a viable source of income. What do you say to these people who are blaming journalists such as Richard Lewis for exposing this, going after this H3 Productions because
Yeah.
it's taken a big part of their income stream, their monthly
So,
income stream.
so, so first of all, so you're talking about the streamers in particular, right? Not the people that played, because I promise you, the people that played that are complaining are only complaining because they're 12-year-olds and they're fans of the people that actually streamed, right?
Right.
Like they're easily manipulated. I'm sorry to say, and I feel bad for those kids, but I guarantee you, when they grow up, they're gonna realize how bad this actually was, and and how they're being helped, rather than hurt, because it is very easy to prey on young people, and it needs to stop. But going to the streamers who complained, I mean, man, I want to watch my language because it's Sports Illustrated. But I'll tell you, these guys are actual scumbags, and they, for them to even complain or even suggest that this is, that they're innocent for any way, shape, or form innocent, they're they're just terrible people. They're just bad
Right.
human beings, and that's the bottom line. They know what they've done, right? They know it's wrong, and they are going to get they are going to get trouble for this. It's going to happen.
Right.
So, yep.
So before we go, Rahul, sports books, other sports books, especially from traditional sports, have been coming into esports. I
Yep.
think for a long time now, but with the recent increases and gains in the industry, we have Camby, we have Pinnacle, all these other sportsbook sites.
Yep.
What is the future of esports and sports betting?
So, oh man, that's a good question. So, look, traditional sports, if you watch it, like whether you watch football or whether you watch, soccer or any traditional sport, um, I think you'll find that people will watch the game and place a bet. It's as simple as that. You'll go to a casino and you'll see a sports book. You can walk in the sports book and you can place bets on sports. The beauty of video games is it opens up a whole new level of betting, where not only can you bet on the outcomes of these matches, which is great, but you can also bet on on your own skill. Like, there's possibilities for that. And then not to mention the fact that many casinos are kind of looking for alternative ways to grow their business, and esports is a way to do that. So I would see esports playing a vital role in sort of the future of entertainment, in live casinos and places like that. So yeah, like on premise type betting. So I think there's a big future for it.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Rahul Sood, CEO of Unikrn. Thank you for joining us on the GG Gauntlet. We're going back to you at the studio. Thanks a lot.
Welcome back to GG Gauntlet. So thanks again, Pao, for the interview.
Wherever you are, somewhere on this screen.
Here. We'll put it here.
Okay.
Now, the dust isn't really settling for this issue, but it's starting to make way.
Yeah.
Some sites have shut down, lawsuits have been filed left and right, people have been hiding. Like Phantom Lord, no one knows where he is right now. And some are really forced to defend themselves in public or in court.
Yeah.
So now the question is, what happens to the game? What happens to CSGO?
What's the
What hap-
future?
Yeah,
What's the
what
future
happens
like?
to the community? What happens to the esport? Because I think that's the biggest victim right now. Like, well, other than the people, of course, but the other big victim is the game itself. So, what do you think is going to happen?
What I find to be a big problem in all this is the potential stigma that the game's going to have moving forward. It's marred by a lot of shady deals. We know big teams and organizations have been dipping their toes into the whole shady gambling operation thing. And we have to note that CSGO is a very big esport. Right? There's a lot of money on the line for legitimate competition. And we don't want the audience to be split on, is that going to be tainted too? Who knows how far the corruption goes, right?
Yeah.
People don't really know.
Yeah, and like E-League just released their stats on their viewership, and it went up to millions.
Yeah.
Millions for CSGO.
So what I'm worried about is, will all these scandals kind of interrupt the legitimate feel of CSGO, which is, truth be told, one of the fastest growing esports on the planet.
Yeah.
Twitch viewership is, in the millions.
Millions.
Yeah. Millions and millions.
Millions! Right. Anyways, we're more serious again.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as for its legitimacy, I think this is really a natural part of
Growing pains. you
growing
think?
pains. I mean, we have explained this before that for esports itself, like now it's really slowly breaking through the mainstream. It's becoming integrated with our culture. Of course, it's going to have a lot of problems. Of course, it's going to have a lot of shady problems because the more legitimate it wants to become, or the more accepted it wants to become, the more exposed it must be willing to be.
Yeah, and let's not forget, this is a new space, so the rules haven't really been written. But if they want to become bigger, if they want to be more legitimate, they need to abide by these rules.
Yes.
By new rules, like, don't let kids gamble.
Yes, and they have to be transparent. Like they have to let people that know that this is what's going to happen. This is what we're going to do. If they do want to impose gambling or betting, they should go by the rules. Like go to the right authorities about it.
It's not like gambling is illegal outright. It's
Yes.
just you got to do it properly. Proper channels, rules and regulations, age checks,
Yes.
all that.
There are just steps need to be done, and if they want to be more, again, like I've been like a broken record about this, but for them to be legitimate, they must play by this world's rules.
Yeah.
Because esports before they played by their own rules, but that was then.
Says the guy from the fighting game community. Anyway.
Anyway, and yeah, I think now that we want to become more like a more global force, we must really buckle down and essentially rise above this. Because we can make this. We can figure things out, and yeah, I think. I mean, there is gonna be a bump. There might be a
More
bump.
than one, I'm gonna say.
Yeah, but we'll figure it out.
Yep.
I don't know. Esports will figure it out.
Yeah. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you, Pao. But again, wherever you
Graphic.
are, this has been Marco and Wabe. For more Esports Illustrated content, you can follow us on Facebook or the Sports Illustrated website. And this has been GG Gauntlet signing off.
See ya.